Beach with a nice advantage. The battle appears to be for second. Ed Jones has it, but Michael Young, the field heads to you in turn one.
Zach Beach has cleared the field. Ed Jones second, Santi Urrutia third. Dean Stoneman able to swing off into fourth position. They go downhill into turn number 3. That right-hander, everybody clean through turn number 1.
Battle for third is on. Dean Stoneman looked to the inside of Santi Urrutia. It appears he might have picked up that position. He did, so it's Beach followed by Jones. Then you've got Dean Stoneman as the field snakes their way down the hill. Further back, throw a blanket over about 4th through 6th. Urrutia looks to the outside. He gets pushed outside wide of the curbing. He's going to lose 3 or 4 spots. Trying to take a pass on Ed Jones. It doesn't work, but Beach clears him through turn number 6. Aaron and Tony, we'll start with you, Aaron. I mean, what a wild start about halfway back to the pack.
Yeah, that was a wild start. Looked like that Stoneman might have squeezed Santi out a little bit, and those outside curbs coming into 5 there are very tall, so if you get your right side tires over them, the car bottoms out, you can't slow down anymore, so that's what forced Santi to run wide there.
Tony, so Santi Urrutia, after starting second and dropping all the way back to the 9th position, will try to work his way back up through the field after missing turn 5 on the opening lap. He'll pick up a spot on lap number 2. Got a couple talented pit reporters down on pit lane keeping an eye on the action. As we'll get to them in just a moment. We got a great battle for second. Yeah, Stoneman
and Jones side by side through 13.
Yeah,
and Stoneman is ahead. He's up to second now.
Yeah,
he's never been this place before.
Yeah, it is. It looks like he probably got a good run down the back straight. We didn't get to see if Jones made a mistake or anything through the carousel to give him that run. But it looks like he's fighting back there down into turn 1. Outside.
Oh,
yeah,
got him. Michael Young, what a pass to the outside by Ed Jones. Down the long downhill portion of the Sargento Bridge, heading to turn number 5. Negrau's going to take a look at the outside.
Contact.
A little contact there with he and Dean Stoneman. Negrau is into the gravel trap. He is going to lose a ton of positions as Tony, Aaron, they weren't playing very nice down there into turn 5.
He comes off James French. It's a good thing he's got a bunch of track experience in other cars. He's driven his old F1 cars, an old Benetton, an old Jordan, so he knew where to go when Negrau was coming off course there. He gets back, drives to the left. This is James French's Indy Lights Series debut. He's a sports car regular, but he's in the car that's usually driven by Felix Rosenquist, who unfortunately the Swede has a European racing commitment this weekend. It's a good thing he's got that experience there.
All right, got a penalty upcoming. It appears to be for Dean Stoneman for that incident heading down into turn number 5 between he and Andre Negrau. So Stoneman is going to pay the price for throwing a bit of a block down in to turn number 5. Let's check in. Rob Howden, you've been watching some of these crew members. A lot of ferocious battles. I'm sure it's made for some uncomfortable crew members down there.
Yeah, you know, Nick, I'll tell you, Dave First was saying that he was over there with the Andretti team and they were jumping for joy with the excitement of the pass for Stoneman. I was standing right beside Schmidt Peterson, and Dave Aguirre was off the wall in about 2 seconds running down to one of the officials, screaming about the incident on the racetrack, saying that it's happened many times before. So again, obviously different positions in this particular situation. One, obviously getting the penalty. Stoneman, you're saying, with an issue, that'll probably make Aguirre happy because he was not pleased at all with the contact over in turn number 5.
And Tony DeZino, Dean Stoneman comes into this race second in points. That is going to be a big hit.
This is huge. I mean, he's 29 points down entering the weekend. He's at the moment, I believe, looks like a little bit more than that. 32, I believe, as he currently sits behind Jones. So he's already losing a couple points just in that second to third. But if he has to pit and then falls back to 13th, 14th in the field, that's a big problem for him.
First, you've got more on that penalty.
I misspoke. There's a third option, and that's what Indy Lights officials are going to take. It's going to be a 5-second penalty at the end of the race. And wherever he finishes out time-wise at that point, that'll be his official position for the day. So
it's a case where, as we're going to view it on replay here, it looks like Zach possibly getting a little squirrely from the lead, and it is Smoke Show coming up from Zach Beach there going through the carousel. I understand he's got track experience before, but Rob's got more in the pits.
Yeah, standing down here right now with Dave Aguirre. Dave, you can't be pleased with what's happened on the racetrack. Negrau getting shuffled off track by Stoneman. The penalty ends up being 5 seconds. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a tough one. 5 seconds.
You've been around this circuit a long time. Would you like to have seen more? What do you think's going on in terms of racecraft out there right now?
It's probably a little confusion of what blocking is, I guess.
And if few words, folks. Dave Aguirre, there's the input from him. He's, I think, probably trying to hold back exactly what he wanted to tell me here because he was not happy at all, guys.
They'll battle their way down the hill and set up for turn number 12. This is going to be awful tight as Zach Beach arcs his way through turn number 12. Here comes Stoneman. He takes a look to the outside, and he'll make the pass. What a pass. Jake Query as Dean Stoneman races up the hill. Does Ed Jones have anything for him to get that second spot back?
Jones exiting 12, going to try to take a look. Can't make the move. Two-car length advantage for Stoneman. Boy, and it got a little bit loose. Kellett managed to get by. Looked like at the bottom of turn number 12, they were both going to go off course into that gravel area, but managed to keep it on the right in the middle of the racetrack, working their way through turn number 13.
Aaron Telis, you're getting to see a replay here for the first time as we're going to get a full course caution, this incident involving Dalton Kellett.
Yeah, it looks like Dalton there just tried to get back on the gas early after, I think that's Garrett Grist that got around him, and he just lit up the rear tires and spun right around all on his own there. Good move by Garrett, and then Dalton trying to fight back. Just didn't make it happen. I don't know if he's high-sided or if he's got more things broke on his car there, but doesn't look like he's going to get back going.
Yeah, Zach Beach is your leader. Dean Stoneman is second. Ed Jones third. Felix Sorrell fourth. Kyle Kaiser fifth. Field will accelerate up the hill. Green flag back in the air. Michael Young, Veach your leader. Stoneman second as they head to turn one.
Zach Veach on the inside of the track. Now he swings outside with the rest of the field. They start to go 3 wide as Ed Jones looks to the inside of Dean Stoneman. On the outside of Kyle Kaiser, it's Juan Pedrejita. No change for position as they make their way to turn number 3.
Boy, Santi Urrutia put the right sides in the grass. He was able to hold on to that 6th or 7th position. Sorrellis gets around Jones for third. Further back, it looks like Pedrejita's all over the back of Kyle Kaiser. Mark James as the leaders race down the hill to turn 5.
That assault by Sorrellis began almost from the time the green flag flew. Zach Beach gets to the corner first. Jones wants that spot back from Sorrellis. We've got a car that spun in the turn. That's the number 2 of Juan Pedrejita. He got low, may have had a little help. He's pointed in the wrong direction. For now, a local caution in turn 5.
Aaron Telis, he certainly did have a little help getting down there into turn 5, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a bit of help there. It looked like Santi wanted to follow him through there on the inside around Kyle Kaiser, but I don't think Juan Pedrejita rolled as much speed as Santi was expecting, and he just got right up underneath his attenuator back there, spun him around.
And Tony DeZino, we know from Juan Pedrejita, as we see a little front wing damage for our points leader, Ed Jones. Santi, that's his MO. He's a guy that's going to be aggressive, no doubt about it. Over the rear wing of Kaiser, Mark James, he's going to take a look to the inside.
Yeah, no doubt. Jones is trying to make that car as wide as he possibly can. He gets to the corner first. Kaiser goes to the outside. The 55 of Urrutia is right there. Here he comes again. They'll go side by side under the Corvette bridge.
Boy, Kaiser took a look to the inside and up the hill at the exit of turn number 6.
Aaron Telis hit it right on the head a little bit earlier. Driven very aggressive this 2016 campaign. Shelby Blackstock now makes a move on the inside of Kyle Kaiser. Moves Shelby Blackstock up 1 position. Nice pass by Shelby into turn 1.
7 laps to go. Kyle Kaiser trying to hold off Andre Negrau, and a spin. Shelby Blackstock loses it at the exit of turn number 3 and is spun to the inside in the grass. He does not make contact with the tire barrier or the wall, but here comes the battle for 5th as Blackstock will try to get that car refired. Mark James, they're side by side there in turn 5.
And down here with the team right now, and just wanted a quick note that they know that while it may be a 2-second lead on the racetrack, indeed it is a 7-second overall lead with that 5-second penalty to Stoneman. They're very cognizant of that right now. They're making sure that Zach knows that he can take care of his race car. It's not just 2 seconds, it's actually 7. Yeah, guys, I'm down here with the Velardes. I tell you, they are on pins and needles right now. They just watch that get all crossed up and sideways coming out of turn number 5. They know that he is dealing with the lack of rear grip right now. They just want to get their driver to bring this home for the race win, but I'm telling you, they are unbelievably nervous watching that car being so skittish out on the racetrack. Dave?
Yeah, all the Andretti Autosport guys are watching Zach Veach slide around on this road course for the remaining couple minutes that we have here in this race. Dave Popular is the team manager for Andretti Autosport. He's also watching Dean Stoneman a little bit of air.
Yeah, the gap, Dave, thank you, from Veach to Stoneman is right at about 3 seconds, and Stoneman's got about a 6-second lead on Sorrellis. Further back back. Good battle, Mark James, a pair of black cars. Zachary Claymont-DeMello to the outside of Andre DeGrau.
Side by side, it's DeGrau gonna grab the spot as they start to hit back up the Corvette bridge, but it's not over, Nick. They go side by side into 6th.
Oh boy, and Claymont-DeMello, Tony, he showed him a nose, and DeGrau's gonna run wide and lose the spot.
What an impressive performance this has been from the Canadian teenager. He actually just uncorked the race's fastest lap at a 154.6326, which is incredible because ordinarily you'd think he'd pit to get fresh tires at that point. The fact that he saved the tires long enough to pop that lap off right at the end is a really impressive performance, isn't it?
12, Jake Query, here comes Zach Beach, looking to go to victory lane here at Road America.
Zach Beach lists in his bio that he enjoys fitness when not at the racetrack, and how fitting, albeit just a 20-lap venture today. Nick Yeoman, this is a physical track, and Zach Beach has been able to hold on from the point from the beginning, help bring him home in car number 5.
He will lead flag to flag. Zach Beach will go to victory lane as he crawls up the hill at full speed across the start-finish line. He'll see the twin checkered flags, and the Bellardi Auto Racing crew will celebrate as Zach Beach goes to victory lane in race 1 here at Road America. In the air, and we are racing here at Road America. Jones will clear them, Michael Young, as they make their way down to turn number 1.
All I see is Ed Jones and Rooster Tails everywhere as we see Zach Beach tucked to the inside. He'll make it to P2. Santi Urrutia will go to the outside. Very, very slick as they go down to the second turn of this event, but a good start for Ed Jones.
So it's Jones, Beach, and here comes Beach. He'll take a look to the inside, has to jump on the brakes to avoid hitting that Carlin machine. Beach's car gets sideways. That opens up the outside for Santi Urrutia. So Mark James, the battle is on for second down into turn number 5.
I think Zach's going to win that battle for second. He got back into the throttle in a hurry. Your leader, Ed Jones, gets to turn number 1 first. Climbs on the blinders, and again, Beach secures that second spot, the 27 of Stoneman. He wants the 3rd spot, but he's going to fall all the way to 5th now as they clear the Corvette bridge.
Field will cross the start-finish line for the first time to complete lap number 1. Let's go back to pit lane and check in with Rob Howden.
Nick, you mentioned how the fact that these drivers really kind of be respectful on the opening lap here. Well, they had a drivers meeting with Tony Condon this morning, the race director, and he read them the riot act after the issues that we had yesterday. We've had a lot of aggressive driving throughout the first half of this year. A couple of 5-second penalties yesterday. But he actually read the guys the riot act and said, listen, I want some respectful racing out of you guys. You guys got to do it correctly. And I think they obviously listened as we've had a couple of good laps here to begin this race.
The first few circuits, those rooster tails, that's that water spray on the rear of the car, was really, really noticeable heading into 14. But already now this track is starting to dry itself out, and it's not as noticeable as it was the last time by. Just a bit of a mist as they enter 14. Nick, I don't know whether or not that means that it is imminent that they will eventually go to a drier tire, but right now everybody's still kind of tiptoeing their way through. As a matter of fact, Neil Albarico almost looked like he had a problem out of turn 14, but now gets acceleration up the hill.
I'll tell you what, again, Michael Young, the battle at the back of the pack, pretty good. They're into turn number 1.
Pendrahita down low, French to the outside. French will make the move around Juan Pendrahita. A nice move as James French moved a little bit later into that turn, did a nice job. So move French up 1 position as he makes his way around that number 2 machine.
All right, Scott Harger, we've been paying attention to these track conditions. As it appears, Mark James, we've got problems at the bottom of the hill.
The number 5 of Zach Beach probably got back into the throttle a little too quickly, and he spun it around. He's going to lose several positions, so he was solidly in that 2nd position, and Nick, he may drop all the way to 6th.
Boy, he gets back on the accelerator and starts to gear back up, getting a chance to look at a replay. Scott, we didn't get to see the initial start of that spin by Zach Beach, but certainly that's a tough break to lose the 2nd position.
It is, and Zach look at there, he's sideways again earlier on. He is pushing that car to the limit, and I know he's hungry for more wins. And as we saw earlier, the rear stepped out. Even on the first lap, it got pretty sideways. So that's just that when that turbo hits, you have to be pointed in the right direction. Otherwise, the rear will step out, especially in these tricky conditions.
And to be fair, we were talking about it before we went on the air. Zach was sideways yesterday on a dry racetrack, so this can't be very easy.
Kellett just went right off of the course in turn number 14. That's that 28 machine of Dalton Kellett. He landed right here in the sand trap, and unfortunately, he's got those rear wheels spinning. The car's not moving for the 2nd straight day, Nick. A full course caution comes out. and it comes out because of an incident involving Dalton Kellett, who is okay, but that car's not moving.
Yeah, that car is absolutely buried in the gravel trap there, and as Jake talked about, rear wheel spinning. Got a lot of sand up there on the under tray. I don't think he's going anywhere, so we're going to go to a full course caution. Let's tidy up Mark Jane's point and what he was talking about.
And Ed Jones crests the hill, makes his way down into turn number 1. The first taker on the outside as Andre DeGrau. Going to the inside of Stillman, unable to make a pass. That's the battle for second place. Then it's Sorales in fourth. Further back, it is Santiago Urrutia. So nothing changes. The field clean to turn number 1. They now go over the Briggs and Stratton Tunnel, make their way down to turn number 3.
Boy, the battle for the lead is on Mark Janes. Dean Stoneman took a look to the outside in turn number 3. They're going to go side by side, headed to you in turn number 5.
Drag race underneath the Sargento Bridge. We'll see who gets here first. They'll make their way down that long straightaway. To the inside goes Ed Jones. He'll force the 27 machine of Stoneman to the high side. Cars gather up. Zach Beach wants to go side by side. Oh, he gets ran off into the grass. The battle for the lead continues, Nick, into turn number 7.
They're 2 by 2 to the front 6. Jones gets sideways. He clips DeGrau. He stalls the car, and Felix Sorales nearly goes up over the top of his teammate. Front wing completely ripped off of Sorales' car, and Jones has some very severe rear wing damage, and we have a full course caution. Boy, Scott Hargrove, he had 6 cars. You can throw a blanket over them. They're in turn number 6, and it just appeared they all ran out of racetrack.
Yeah, what I tell you, when the race started, everybody was taking it easy, but now it's drawing out a little more. You can be a little bit more, and people know what to expect. And we saw there on the race, on the restart, some really, really aggressive driving. Jones pushed, it looked like Dean off into the grass, and Dean wasn't going to let it go. And then into the next corner, just got a little wide and had to check up, and his teammate ran into the back of him.
Seeing a replay, they went side by side for first, side by side for third, and boy, Scott, it looks like Sorales just got on the gas really soon and got right to the back of it. Jones.
Yeah, that's what put Jones sideways, was his teammate into the back of him, and then of course after he slowed down, got another hit here once the car straightened up and went up and over onto the back wing. So that's yeah, that's not good for either car. Those wings are not very cheap. So that's a pretty pricey crash there.
It's halfway point in the books. Back to green flag racing as they race up on the hill for an ever-drying racetrack. And Michael Young, they're not done slugging it out. Here comes Andre DeGrau.
DeGrau to the outside of Stoneman, able to make the move. Now the move to the inside. That's Santi Urrutia goes to the point. Santi Urrutia nearly making contact with DeGrau. What a move by Santi Urrutia as he goes to the lead here at Road America.
And Dean Stoneman's got some massive problems as he is way off the pace. So now the front 3, the top 3 in points, all with issues with Sorales and Jones on pit lane, and now Jones slowing on the backstretch. Santi Urrutia, your leader, but Mark Janes, Zach Beach has something to say about that second place position.
DeGrau, Urrutia, Beach, they all come this way. Zach goes to the high side. Now he'll work to the bottom side of the 17 car of DeGrau. We're hearing from pit road. Dave first. Problem for Dean Stoneman could be what?
Yep, Dean Stoneman with the flat tire. So here we go, top 3, big issues here. Race number 2 at Road America.
Ed Jones back on the racetrack, now down 1 lap. They had to replace the wing, and of course the wing held on with a tether as well to make sure the wing comes off and doesn't go into any of the drivers. Well, they refired the car of Ed Jones, but they had not yet put the tether back on to make sure the wing doesn't go anywhere. The Indy Lights official said, no, you're going nowhere. They shut the engine back down. Now the crew working feverishly to get that tether back on, so this car is legal and ready to get back onto the racetrack.
Slow crawl for Dean Stoneman. Scott Hargrove, he's had a great season so far, right there in the championship hunt. And boy, to see those 2 Carlin teammates take each other out, he had to be assuming that this is going to be a big point set. This has got to be just demoralizing, and he pulls to a stop in pit lane.
Oh, that's got to be hugely, massively frustrating. It looks like they're going to go on to slicks. So if they can get these slick tires on before losing a lap and get a yellow, you never know. He might still be back in it. But of course, no fault of his own with the flat tire.
Blackstock comes into view just now. Grist almost looks like he's 1 car length back. That's because Claiborne DeMello, who got loose, moving in on Blackstock, and that caused Grist to go into the sand trap. So I'll tell you what, they came in at turn 14. They looked like a 1-car piece coming in, and it turned out to be just 2 as Grist got hung out to dry on the
way through turn number 14. Boy, Zach Beach sliding all over the place. Jake Query, Dean Stoneman's a lap down, but you can tell on those slick tires, he's a lot faster than everybody else.
Yep, just made quick work of Shelby Blackstock to get that lap back. To your point about Zach Beach coming out of 14, Kaiser now going to do the same. Very, very slick. It looks, as they go out of my view, it's almost as if watching a dog trying to walk on ice. That's what it looks like for those that are still on those rain tires that are starting to go away.
Here comes Santi Urrutia out of turn number 14, back up onto the front straightaway. He's going to see the white flag. One more lap to go. Michael Young, the lead is nearly 8 seconds as Santi Urrutia makes his way around this Road America course for the final time. But all eyes are on our leader, Santi Urrutia, with about an 8-second lead, making his way down the hill, looking to go to turn number 12 and pick up his second win of the season. This may very well put him right back in the points championship, as it does not appear, barring a mistake on this final lap, that he will be challenged by Andre Negrão or Zach Beach. Urrutia hard on the brakes through the right-hander of turn number 12. That is Canada corner with trees on either side. He'll come into the view of Jake Query for the final couple corners.
Second place, Andre Negrão celebrated his 24th birthday just over a week ago. Santi Urrutia will not turn 20 for 2 more months, but he's working his way on his way to a victory at Road America. Help bring him home, Nick.
Twin checkered flags are out here at Road America. Santi Urrutia will win race number 2 here in the Kohler Grand Prix weekend at Road America as he picks up a dominating victory